Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero, and we are back again talking about a new video coming out from Nina Infinity, talking about how Camelot 331 is indeed a liar when it comes to the story he was talking about a few months ago, or even a month ago, looking at this clip that's here, where he talks about a pest that was going around trying to use their clout to gain favors, you know the type, from other YouTubers or females. In particular was Nina Infinity. So she just came out with this video last night. We're going to be going over how we got to this point, starting right here with the clip of him saying, you know, how the rumor started right here from Student of God. And this is where he's talking about the story, and of course EvS is the one that latches on and say it's as. Of course he says that because he just absolutely hates anyone from FNT, so he'll pretty much say anything to get anyone to go against as, even though it's been confirmed multiple times by Nina Infinity that there's nothing going on and Az was never doing anything to her. But let's re-listen to this clip here.
Talking about is all in the replies of every female like that's in their genre or niche, trying to have sex with them. Every girl.
Wait, what's the penis thing?
Because they can't have sex with people in real life because they look like a melting freaking monster snowman.
It's
like,
Az!
Oh my god!
It's Az. No, it's not. And now, of course, Nina Infinity has been put in a position where she has to clarify it yet again after putting out this long tweet here. You can right here pause the video if you want to read this statement. But this is the post that she recently put out saying she had to make yet another statement about this pest gate. So now we're gonna go ahead and listen to the video here. Now go subscribe to Nina Infinity if you aren't already subscribed. Go subscribe to Nina Infinity. I'll leave a link in the description. Let's get into this video.
What's going on, everyone? This is Nina Infinity, and I am making a video about something that I really wish I didn't have to make a video on, because honestly, this is one of the most annoying things that I've had to deal with in my entire career as a YouTuber. It's been a very strange circumstance to navigate. I have basically at my wit's end as to what to do, and so the only way that I can think of that would put this matter to bed and also make it more clear than ever to anyone that I don't have anything to do with this and that this did not come from me is to make this video and talk to you face to face.
So obviously this is a clip from a live stream. At least it looks as if it's a clip from a live stream, but we'll continue on with the video.
So you can hear me and my words and see my face, so that you know that this did not originate from me. And that is the rumor of the sex pest, okay? So I'm going to tell you what happened. I went to Anna's wedding in February. It was lovely. I met several people there. They were all very lovely people. And we had some discussions, private discussions that should have stayed private.
That is correct. A private discussion should indeed stay private. That's why they're called private discussions. I know it's a common sense thing that this should be the case, but unfortunately it has to be said by Nina.
One of these discussions was about my time at the Real BBC and the feud, the ongoing, immature, childish, weird feud between Comicsgate and the FNT crowd, who I used to be hanging out with as Gary and Mahler on the Real BBC. The only thing that was discussed was a private matter about how they don't like each other. Surprise!
Comicsgate and FNT.
That was pretty much it. As if that's shocking to anybody by now that those people don't like each other. Big fucking deal. Nothing was said about a sex pest. And now here we are. It is now April 18th. And I have to, again, make another statement about this situation, because somebody who was present at that party decided to take it upon himself to go and share a private conversation and then mess up the details and just make shit up. And that person is Camelot. So if you're part of any of these groups and you're annoyed about what is going on, It all originates with Camelot's video about what happened at Anna's wedding.
There you go. She blatantly states that, of course, Camelot made it up.
Once he made that video about something that was said privately, he talked about my story, and then he talked about somebody else's story, and then he somehow decided to portray it as if I was the one saying that there was a sex pest in these spheres. I had to make a statement on Twitter several months later because it would not go away. This rumor about Az sexually harassing me would not go away. So I made this statement on Twitter.
This is the statement that I did present in the video a little bit earlier, of course.
And I did not think that I had to make it again. Because once people thought that this, oh, it's not Az, then who is it? Oh, it must be Tom Connors. Never mind the fact that Tom and I do a weekly show and have been doing a weekly show for a long time called Toxic Femininity on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. We've been hanging out for a very long time. Before and after I was off the Real BBC.
So she was already doing a show with Tom even before she was on the BBC. Okay, got you.
And here we are now with this weird war between EvS and everybody that keeps getting spicier and spicier and spicier.
In all honesty, to me, I see it as a one-sided beef where the F&T crew don't actually give a crap about what's going on in Comicsgate, which is why at first they didn't really address it, because why would you care about somebody being canceled when they've been crapping all over you and your audience for so long? They shouldn't expect any support. I obviously did 2 videos showing support, saying that, yeah, Anna and all those guys should be able to go to C2E2. But of course, people that don't watch me don't actually know that. So I'm just putting it in here in case these clowns decided to, of course, EFAP this video. They'll know that I made 2 videos. One for the Comicsgate people and one specifically for Anna when it comes to the cancellation of them from C2E2.
And somehow I keep getting dragged into it. Now Tom is hurt because people think that he's the sex pest. Look, I don't know who the sex pest is. But somebody apparently does. And that person is Camelot. So if you have a problem and you're wondering where this is all originated from, it's from Camelot.
So there you go. She will basically address the entire thing, telling you that if you want to find out more, go ask the individual Camelot where the story all started from. It's, of course, Midnight King saying, Cody calling Nina a liar, and still too scared to utter her name. Bruce saying, I have nothing against Cody, and he seems to be someone who wanted to avoid drama. That said, telling private conversations to YouTube is about as bitch made as Ethan Van F face, showing mild DMs and making drama. So again, EvS has one-sided beef with both Eric July's audience, Eric July himself, and of course the F&T crew and the F&T audience, which there was a point where, of course, there was a live stream where he sent a bunch of chickens to the chat of Tuesday night's main event that was hosting, of course, Eric July, because he's a regular there. Eric July is a regular on Tuesday night's main event, and of course he sent some people over. This is him, of course, projecting, saying that, Gary is holding the strings. He's pulling the strings of all these different communities and all these different people. Ooh, like a guru.
Mike D83 says, what has the man known as Cecil become? Why has the man known as Cecil become a soy boy? Everybody reacts to this the same way. Like,
of course, Ethan is playing copyrighted music because he's an absolute idiot.
There are a lot of parasocial relationships on the line that are connected. I want you to understand that the way that this works.
Similar to how you had audiences between your audience and Yellow Flash audience, you guys had crossover, as well as you had crossover with Eric July's audience. Then that's the kind of things you're talking about here.
is that Gary has the biggest YouTube channel. And so Gary has all of these people on strings hanging off of him.
So yeah, he has, like he's just said, he has all these people he has on strings hanging off of him.
And they're all depending on Gary. Gary is somebody who will, as we've seen with, for example, Jeff.
I just want to point out that Mauler has less subscribers than Gary. Az from Here vs. Babies has less subscribers than Gary. And their channels are doing just fine. I don't know where this preconceived notion comes from where you think that they need Gary to succeed on YouTube. They've been succeeding on YouTube, at least with Az for the last 12 years, which he recently celebrated, doing YouTube full-time for 12 years. And Mauler has his EFAPs, which do very well. Even though, considering how long they are, they still do very well. So I don't know where this preconceived notion comes from that they actually need Gary to succeed, or he's pulling the strings of them on here. I don't know where that comes from at all.
Jeff Hicks and Jesse Milestone, we mentioned them earlier, cut people off. And when you're cut off,
you can cut people off. That's not a new thing, by the way. That's not a new thing that Gary started. People have been cutting off other people for a while.
Off from Gary, you're cut off from his entire community because they talk to each other.
Oh, kind of like how you called all the people on FNT zeros, and you expected not to be cut off from all of that crossover. Kind of like that. You should have, if you knew that, and you're saying that about this situation, you should have known that back when you decided to call a bunch of people on Gary's live stream zeros.
And they say, why are you hanging, as says this to people too, why we don't like that you're hanging around with, you're friendly with this person, with that.
I highly doubt Az has ever done that. See, that's the problem with EvS. He says a bunch of drivel and then doesn't present any evidence at all. And then, of course, his audience doesn't do any research, so they just sit there and they just nod away like, yes, cult leader, yes, I'm going to just listen to everything you say because they don't do any research, bro. And then they get mad when someone like Eric says something, presents the facts, and then even says, you don't got to take my word for anything, go and do the research yourself. That would be the good thing to do, but of course, you're not a good person, EvS. You're just not. At this point in the game, you're not. You're absolutely not. But seems to have been a disagreement, of course, with Cecil over on the Jack Show, where he was calling out Jon Malin for basically the same thing I said, where you've been crapping all over these people's audience for so long, and then you sit up here and cry about not getting any support from them after crapping all over them. He, of course, calls out both Jon Malin and EvS. And, of course, you have Jay Cook right there.
By the way, I thought your response the other day on Twitter where you were screaming like, these guys didn't help me, was the most feminine shit ever. Do not scream for other men to help you. Grab an oar, help yourself.
Geeks and gamers were a big
Do not fucking be screaming, help me, Gary, help me, Jeremy.
There's Captain Chokeout just spazzing out down there.
Jeremy, it was gay.
Cecil,
that whole
Are you
tweet
talking to
was gay.
me? Are you talking to me?
Gay.
No, he's talking to Jon.
I'm talking to Jon. It was gay to scream for help from.
It's funny how Ethan likes to make it about himself, of course, because he is a narcissistic prick.
Cecil, he wasn't screaming for help.
It was. Please
Cecil,
help me. But
he was pointing out the hypocrisy.
Jon, you're living in a world where you can insult guys every day for 3 years.
Did I?
No, Ethan did.
Oh, okay. Well,
and we were both on streams where he did it, and we were sitting next to him while he did it.
And you sit next to him every.
And they go, help us, please, help us.
But he never said that.
When did Jon ask for help?
The bridge is burned.
Is that what I said?
I live in the real world.
Oh my God!
Like all the principles have been out the fucking window. There's like no principles in this space. And
he specifically just told you why. He just told you why they didn't speak up for you. Even though in a live stream, Gary did say that they should be allowed to be at the conventions. They shouldn't be banned. He just told you why. There's no principles. There is, you've been crapping all over these guys all the time with, Ethan has. and you've sat there and let him do it, right? And then you expected some sort of sympathy when you were getting canceled. Now, again, I made a video covering it, even though this narcissistic prick Ethan said I deserve to be doxxed, even after saying that. And I'm going to keep bringing it up. I'm going to keep bringing it up because that's some serious stuff you're saying, at least that Ethan said.
Anymore.
Okay,
Because everybody's turning fucking cutthroat. And none of that's got to do with fucking me getting fucking kicked out from fucking C2E2. So if you want to say, ha, it's okay, ha, you're feminine, ha, fuck off.
Because Jon is learning that I'm right.
No, Jon is brainwashed because you're a narcissistic prick. He's not learning that you're right. He's just following orders. He's kissing your ring.
All it is. He didn't know I was right before. Now he knows I'm right.
Was feminine, begging.
No, Jon was going, oh my god, these guys are zeros. What the hell?
They're fake.
It was,
They're
please,
fake.
help me, please.
Oh yeah, and Jay Bomacook over there saying, hey, they're fake. They're fake. Just like you. You're a fake comic book fan. You're just a fan of Ethan being a freaking narcissistic prick. And the fact that Cecil is calling out these people, calling out these guys for doing the feminine nonsense that they're doing, as he says, he should be. He even stuck up for you saying, oh, I'm not going to cut ties with you. That these people helped me, right? So he's calling out your nonsense right here in front of you. He's not saying it on Twitter. He's saying it to your face. So you either take it or leave it. Obviously, they're not going to take his advice. They're not going to stop the nonsense, and they're going to continue to do what they do. But yeah, you did put out this tweet, by the way, April 2nd. It says, man, if I deleted myself, maybe Nerdrotics and Yellow Flash would finally express outrage for C2E2 canceling us like the Whisper Network canceled Ed Piskor. Both Yellow Flash, since then, and Nerdrotic have both said, no, they shouldn't be canceled from C2E2. So you got your answer. It just took a little while because, honestly, they shouldn't have to respond at all. They don't have to do that. You sat up here. You acted a fool with Ethan. And then when you got mad, when they didn't call it out and say, well, you shouldn't be canceled, they're saying stuff. This was the first long tweet you made. Well, this is actually the most recent tweet you made after people were going after Nerdrotic's wife. Where you said it here. These things are both awful. As a principal person, I have to strongly call both things up. But make no mistake, hypocrites, they are not even close to being equal in terms of fighting the actual culture war you claim to be here for. Posers. So I'm going to read the whole thing, though. It says, let me get this straight, right? As one comic creator, Ed Piskor, deletes himself for being canceled, 3 other comic creators are canceled from one of the biggest shows in the country. Not really. In addition, it's not really one of the biggest shows. In addition, threatened to be removed by force if seen and not a peep from the anti-cancel culture quote-unquote comic influencers / grifters. Then one of these influencers gets a Miss Piggy posted next to a pic of his wife, and all hell breaks loose across multiple platforms. White Knights are back in season for Milady because she's not part of the drama. She's not part of this nonsense that you guys have, this little feud you have between each other. These things are both awful. As a principal person, I have to strongly call both things up, but make no mistake, hypocrites, they are not even close to being equal in terms of fighting the actual culture war you claim to be here for. CG is on the front lines every damn day. We don't play it safe. We try to go where the fans are, not private dick writing sessions. Oh, and we create well-crafted alternative products instead of repeating the 6-year-old talking points to milk our culture war audience. CG is the culture war, mother effers. The grifters reveal themselves by what they won't cover and what they will. Go back to writing Hollywood. Penis. So this is probably the tweet that Cecil was referring to and called you feminine for posting this garbage. Because again, you want to sit up here and crap on these guys' audiences, crap on them all the time, and then you expect them to help you when you're getting canceled. So at the end of the day, these guys are just absolute fake people. Specifically Ethan and Jon, they want to call everybody else fake, but they want to sit up here and act fake. And then when you don't get help for acting like fakes, well, that's not anybody's problem. Again, I made videos on it. even with the nonsense that Ethan said. But thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button. Comment below if you feel all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or live stream. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.